passed away on April 25th, 2019, due to an alcohol-related car accident. Scott was born October 29, 2001, son of Alan Dorn Jr. and Rory Hamill. Scott could always be found with his Green Bay Packers gear on as a die-hard fan. He loved playing sports no matter where he went, competing at just about anything possible. Scott was a junior at Mattanawcook Academy, where he is part of the many extracurricular activities and sports teams. He never missed a beat and wanted to be a part of as much action as possible. Scott will truly miss playing with his friends and will be missed by them. Funeral services will be held April 26th at 10 a.m. at Mattanawcook Academy Gymnasium.
A junior at Mattanawcook Academy, Micaiah served as class president since his freshman year. He was also a member of the soccer and tennis teams. He attended Northern Penobscot Region 3 this year and was recently inducted into the National Technical Honor Society and studied law enforcement, which was his dream to eventually pursue. Micaiah enlisted in the Maine Army National Guard on March 30th, where he became a member of Bravo Company 3, 172nd Infantry Mountain. He was so excited to start his journey as a soldier and would have left for basic training in June. Micaiah began his passion for wanting to serve his country by meeting many amazing veterans while he volunteered at House in the Woods in Lee, Maine. Micaiah was predeceased by his cousin, Brendan Cunningham, and paternal grandfather, Robert Coburn, and his maternal grandfather, Ronald McLeod. In addition to his parents, Brandon and Kelly, Micaiah is survived by his father, Seneca Coburn, brother Max Woodman, sister Skylar Bard, maternal grandmother, Connie McLeod, paternal grandmother, Janice Coburn, grandparents, Philip and Kathy Pelkey, Al Bard and Lynn, his girlfriend, Marina Terrio, along with many aunts, uncles, and cousins. Micaiah leaves behind his beloved dog, Blue Boy, who he inherited after his grandfather's passing. A funeral service will be held at Mattanawcook Academy on April 26 at 10 a.m. in the gymnasium.
so we are going to need a board. We are going to need life flight for this patient. As of now, he is paralyzed. We need to collar him. We have massive head injury, in and out of consciousness. Okay.
Good? Good.
Okay? Okay, what I want you to do is I want you to follow this pen with your eyes from that position. Follow it only with your eyes. Do not move your head. Do you understand that? Okay. Don't move your head. Okay? Start over. Don't move your head. Keep your head.
Okay, good one.
Oh, yeah. Did she lose consciousness?
Kelly Meadow.
Can I go out layer down a little bit so you let you
Can you bring this stretcher down?
Yes, we can.
Was she walking at the scene?
She's able to stand and pivot on her stretcher.
Okay.
Only pain she has is her arm. I got another pain in her.
I'm gonna go way down with this stretcher then. How's that right there?
Alright, Kelly, we're gonna move you. Okay, count of 3.
On my count, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Hello. Alright, can you tell me your name? Kelly. Good. Good, Kelly. Can you tell me, do you know where you are right now?
Griffin.
You were in an auto accident, correct?
This is Griffin. Hi, Griffin. 17-year-old male in the car crash. Does not have any feeling from his waist down. Is collared and boarded. Has major head trauma. All right, is everybody ready? 1, 2, 3.
There we go.
Did you guys have to extricate him from the vehicle? We did. Okay.
have to tell you that the charges, the two Class A crimes are manslaughter, which is one less down than murder, as I mentioned, which indicates that you did knowing recklessly or with criminal negligence cause the death of Christopher, and the same thing, recklessly or with criminal negligence caused the death of Caitlin Tolman. In this proceeding representing Mr. Miller, who is to my right.
And who was prosecuting?
Good morning, Your Honor. Deputy District Attorney Devin Marker.
Mr. Miller, you've been charged with 4 counts, or what I have before me is a 4-count complaint, charging felonies in each count. This is your initial appearance on these very serious felony charges. I am going to read the charges against you because they are serious. Count 1 is a manslaughter, Class A. A Class A offense carries up to 30 years in jail and up to a $50,000 fine.
I woke up Thursday morning thinking it was just another day. I left for work wondering what I was going to fix for dinner, who had practice, who had to work. The boys were still asleep because they don't leave as early as I do. When I got to work, my mind, as it always does, kept going from work stuff to wondering if they got up for school and made it on time. I sent a text message, got no response, which wasn't unusual because they are teenage boys and a routine text from Mom is annoying. I continued with my day. Then I glanced out my classroom window to see a police car pull up outside and immediately knew something was wrong. My normal day turned into my worst nightmare, and the easy routine of my day will never be the same. My first thoughts after the initial shock was, what were my last words to my son? I could not recall our last conversation. Does he know that I loved him? Does he know that he is the greatest thing that has ever happened to me? He is the reason I am a mother. Does he realize that there's nothing I'd rather see than him smiling or hear his laughter? We are all still reeling from the tragic deaths of Christopher and Katie. We are shocked, scared, and angered at the unfairness and senselessness that took them from us. We try to make sense of this, to understand the reason why this happened. What plan could this have been a part of? What possible meaning or lesson can be learned from this horrendous situation?
Go home and hug your loved ones a little tighter today. Tomorrow is never promised. I love you, K24. Till we meet again.
There is so much to say, but first we want to offer our condolences to the Milner family on the loss of their son, Christopher. Christopher was a wonderful young man who had a wonderful personality. It was a pleasure to watch him under the lights during Friday night football, to watch him be a key player on the basketball team, and to watch him play tennis. It has been a pleasure to watch Chris as a young boy at Ellenborough, with the big brown eyes grow to be such a young, fine young man who was taken away from his family in one split second. Our thoughts and prayers continue to go out to the Coburn and Nettle families. Kelly and Griffin were passengers both in separate vehicles on the day of the horrific crash that took Caitlin and Chris away from their families forever. We have been told by law enforcement that our daughter looked away from the road to read a text message. She was not able to swerve from the oncoming car that was being operated by a drunk driver. Caitlin Elizabeth was our only daughter, and she and her brother Tyler made our lives complete. Our family was whole. Caitlin had many friends through her 18 years of life. She was very sports-oriented and enjoyed playing soccer, basketball, and softball at an early age. She was looking forward to her first home game of the season, which is today. It's so hard now to fathom that instead she is now a fatality from a drunk driving accident. The drunk driver who was charged with killing our daughter is Nick Miller. Nick's mom and I are best friends. And Nick and Katie have been friends for years. We want you to know that our hearts are shattered for the Miller family. Nick will be facing a possible jail sentence because of the recklessness. His future in computer technology may never happen, and most importantly, he has lost 2 friends that were so close to him. When you are faced with the decision of getting behind the wheel of the vehicle after consuming alcohol, or maybe you will just take one quick glance at your phone while you're driving, remember Caitlin and Chris and how brokenhearted their families are at this moment. One split second can change precious lives forever. Please call an Uber, a friend, or a family member for a ride, and don't ever chance a glance.
May 25th, 2019, I made a decision that would forever change the lives of those I consider family. I made a decision to get in the car while under the influence of alcohol. A decision that would damage the lives of many. I was in a courtroom full of people that were very upset with what I did.
Dear Mom and Dad, every 15 minutes someone in the United States dies from an alcohol-related or distracted driving traffic collision. And today I died. I never had a chance to tell you before I left that I love you. You both changed my life in so many ways, and I can never thank you enough for that. I died today because I didn't listen to you. I could have easily called you and had you pick me up. Like you always told me that you wouldn't yell at me until we got home, but the ride was going to be pretty quiet. I took my life for granted and I never had the chance to truly appreciate it.
One little mistake has not only ruined my promise to myself and disappointed you, but it costed me my life.
Good morning. I'd like to thank Mrs. Barrett for inviting me here today to share with you all Ashley's story. You know, there are moments which define our lives, moments when we realize that nothing will ever be the same, moments that are divided into 2 parts, before and after. And the following descriptive account is for me one of those moments. Every parent's worst nightmare is the death of their child, hands down. Having to give your child back to God is shattering, devastating, and incomprehensible. Children are supposed to grow up, have children of their own, and then, when the time comes, grieve the loss of their parents. That's the natural order of life. However, my family's worst nightmare occurred on December 26, 2004, at approximately 9:45 in the evening, when my niece, Ashley Dunn, was tragically killed in an automobile crash. The vehicle, which she was a passenger in, was driven by a drunk driver. Speed and road conditions were factors, and the pickup which she was riding in hit another vehicle from behind and spun out of control. Ashley was not wearing her seatbelt, and I'm going to say that again. Ashley was not wearing her seatbelt. In closing, I'd like to remind the young people in this room that your lives are precious, your lives matter, and that your family, your community, and your universe would not be whole without you. And finally, that your parents' hearts are with you always. Always.
I'd first like to say thank you to everyone who took part in this program, especially the students and their families. This program does not just impact the students, it also impacts their families during this 2-day event. We are very grateful to have such an outstanding community that has supported this program for all of these years. At this time, I'd like the students to stand up. And at this time, I'd like to reunite you students, with your families.